Buongiorno signori, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about how to create this muscle fiber highlight effect. Yeah, that's a way too long name, but let's get cracking. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is obviously take a video of your subject. This is actually pretty easy. You just need to decide in pre-production what part of the body you want to swap with muscle fibers, and then you just need to take a video of that, and that's it. I have my video right here, and I chose this one because I'm going to swap basically from the shoulders to the biceps and then also the pectoral muscles. Now the first thing you want to do is actually slow down your footage, but you're going to do a sort of speed ramp. So from normal speed or high speed, it depends what you like, we're gonna go down to a super slow motion, I call it. So it's basically a footage brought down 10% speed, and then using Davinci's AI to basically slow it down and make it really smooth. So the first thing to do is choose a spot in your clip where you want to slow down the speed. In my case, it's here where he's closing his arms together. So go to the keyframes tab up here in the top left. Scroll down to where you see speed. For the right part of the clip, click on this arrow right here, go down to change speed and go down to 10%, and then just trim the clip where you want it to end. And for the left part, as I said, you can leave it as it is, or you can just speed it up around 200 or even 400% if you like. Now, this is going to be basically the slow motion effects. So once you finish this process, just click on the clip, go into the inspector tab and scroll down to retime and scaling. Now for retime process, you want to change project settings to optical flow. And for motion estimation, just select AI speed warp better. Now what this is going to do is basically use AI to stretch those frames together and basically stitch them together. Like, this is the point of it. Now once you've done this, you need to go to the color page and basically do your color grading as normal. Once you've done the color grading, you need to right click on the clip, click on grab still, and it's basically going to show up here in the gallery. Then right click on the still and click export. We're going to use this image to replace with AI the skin with muscle fibers. So once you've done this, go to the delivery page and export just the clip. So with the retime and scaling. The reason you want to do this is actually because at least in my case, my computer isn't strong enough to handle the retime and scaling and also the surface tracker that we're going to use later. So I usually export the clip and then put it back up in Davinci and use it from there. Okay, so now just put the clip back in Davinci Resolve and leave it there. Next thing we're going to do is go to Google Chrome and open Gemini. Now in Gemini we have this thing called Nano Banano, where basically you can edit photos or tell the AI to edit photos. So the thing you want to do is actually copy and paste the prompt that I'm going to leave you down below in the description. And the other thing you want to insert in this prompt is this screenshot of Jeff Nippard's where he basically replaces the muscle. The reason you want to do this is because you want to give the AI as much information as possible to recreate the effect exactly as you want. So I'm going to link this picture also down below in the description, and yeah, just send the prompt like this and don't put nothing else in it. He's gonna just answer, I got it, I will understand the task. And then the next thing you want to do is put your own picture, so the picture that you exported before, just put it in Gemini, and without even writing a prompt, just send it to the AI. So as you can see, he just replaced my whole subject's body with muscle fibers, and that's completely insane because doing this in Photoshop would have taken basically weeks just to create something this accurate. And now we're gonna go back to Davinci Resolve. Now you put back inside the timeline your super slow motion clip. Now I know the Fusion tab, it's a piece of shit, but it's actually really powerful, and in this case it's really easy to create the effect. So just follow me. Now the first thing you want to do is press shift spacebar and search for the surface tracker. And once you got the surface tracker, just click on the spots where you want to replace the skin with the muscle fibers. So basically just go around the subject and do as I'm doing right now. It's really easy. It doesn't have to be hard, and the points don't have to be extremely accurate, just because you can tweak them even later after you've done the tracking. Now once you've done this, go on the top right corner, click on mesh, and this is gonna basically put points inside the tracker that you put. And if you want to make the tracking even easier, you can go on point number limit and just crank this up. Now as you can see, we'll just increase the points inside the tracking points that I made. Now go on track, you can now track forwards and backwards. And if you have the subject that maybe goes out of frame or does a whip pan or whatever, you can actually solve that problem pretty easily. I'm going to show you how in a minute. Now, once you've finished tracking, you want to import the image that Gemini generated and just connect it to the surface tracker on the green point. Be sure to not connect it in the other points because this won't work. It has to be on the green one. Now, as you can see, basically you have a hole inside your subject, but it's actually pretty normal. So just click on the surface tracker, go on result. Now click on overlay placement, the arrow, it just pops down. Go on positioning, and instead of interactive canvas, click on sliders. What this is going to do is basically give you a bunch of sliders that can help you adjust the position of the image that you just imported. So go on zoom and play with it until you basically see the subject underneath. And now just play with the Y position and the X position to try and match. And also I would consider lowering the opacity a bit just to try and match the physique of the image with the physique of your subject in the video. Okay, so now once you're happy with where your image is, go up here in softness and just crank it up a bit until you feel like the softness is okay around the edges. Like for example, in this case, it's a little bit too much for me. So I'll just put it a bit down. Okay, so in this case, maybe you want to change the tracking points because you want to show the abs a little bit more. There's no problem. Go back on track, click on the tracking points and change them in the position you want. Once you've done this, go back on tracking and click backwards and forwards, and it's going to track backwards and forwards with the new mask. And this is crazy because it's not going to affect the changes that you made with the Y positioning and the X positioning. So once it's finished tracking, you're actually done with the effect for the most part. Now, if you want to, for example, change the color of the muscles, you can just click on a color corrector node and, for example, change the hue like this or increase the saturation. Now, if you want to make this effect even cooler, click on a rectangle mask and connect it to the media too. So basically your image. Now change the positioning of the mask where basically you cut off part of the muscle and increase the soft edge a lot, about half, and just change the positioning. So basically it creates this blending mode as if basically the muscle is entering the skin, which is really, really cool. Like in this case, for example, with it, I think it changes completely. And yeah, the effect is done. You can also do this with bones, not only muscles, and you can replace, I swear to you, every part of the body. I've done it with every part without a single problem. This is actually my first YouTube video. If you enjoyed it, I hope you'll leave a like. Yeah, maybe ask me down below for an effect that you want to create but you don't know how to. I'm just gonna make a tutorial for it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time, boys. Ciao, ciao.